Welcome back to the channel, guys, and I hope you all are doing amazingly fine. It's been a while, I know. But for anyone who's new, my name is Shanj, I'm a commercial pilot, and I make a lot of videos which revolve around aviation, aircrafts, my daily vlogs, and me helping out a lot of my lovely aspiring pilots to get a head start in their career in aviation. So if you're one of them, do consider subscribing and do hit that bell icon so you can get notified as quick as possible. मतलब जितना जल्दी YouTube कर सकता है तुमको नोटिफिकेशन मिल जाएगा. With that said, let's get started. Intro. While I was just recently going through my DMs, a lot of you guys constantly keep asking me, so what are the best methods in which I can clear my DGC exams? Yeah, is there any easier way to study this? Is there something, some way that I can, just finish up this in like a week or two, my DGCA subject? Now, guys, in order to answer that, I had already made a video which is right here, and I have no clue why I'm using this pen to show that off, but quite fidgety. But again, I have already made a video, I'm going to update it pretty soon. But to answer that question, I wanted to make a video which answers the exact opposite of that. And I will be like, kya bol raha hai? I'm going to tell you a few things that students usually do wrong, or they keep repeating these mistakes and finally do not end up clearing their exams. So please, if you're watching this video, pay attention, watch it till the end, and do not repeat these mistakes which are usually done by a lot of you, so that you have the best chances of clearing your exams in one go. Let's get into it. Now, before I go ahead and tell you the points, I want to make one thing very clear. Now, clearing your DGC exams is something which is not just a piece of cake. It takes effort, it takes hard work. I'm going to give you points which will help you to make your study schedule or to make the way you work things out or the way you study a bit better. So take these points along with testing your own caliber, knowing how much you're capable of, and having the proper guidance to go through. So I just want to make it clear that it's not that if I'm saying something or some other instructor is saying something, that does not mean that you have to just follow that, and if you do that, that's gonna give you the best results. It's a lot about yourself as well, how you are as a student, how you are in your studies, how much you can study at the same time. You need to find that for yourself, because you're being a pilot. This is no more primary school or secondary school or even higher secondary college. So there's a lot that goes into being a pilot, and not just what you study and how you study or just books and stuff. So let's begin with point number one, which is that a lot of students omit your theory and start referring to question banks. Now, I'm not saying that you should not refer to question banks, but just relying on question banks in order to clear your exams is the worst way to study, not just for DGC exams, but for any exam. Now, a lot of you will say that, Array, what if the questions come from the question banks? Fine, I agree. There might be question banks, and then there are question banks even when a certain examination is conducted. They do extract a certain amount of questions from question banks or books which those question banks are extracted from. But that does not mean that you can just refer to them and expect to clear the DGC exams in one go. It does not happen anymore, and it's not going to happen in the future as well. Let's say that you even clear your exam, but what about your future? That your CPL DGC exams are not everything. You're going to have to appear for ATPL someday. ATPL also has Vivas. What are you going to do in Vivas? You're going to tell the examiner that, okay sir, मैंने question bank से पढ़ा था, but ये तो था नहीं. That's not how it works. You're going to appear for airline exams. Airline exams questions are not extracted from question banks, let me tell you that. Even if you clear that, let's say being super optimistic, आगे जाओगे, you appear for a personal interview for the airline. What are you going to do then? You need to know your theory, you need to know your concepts, you need to know how things work in an aircraft for that matter. And that is the first point that I want to say. Never ever completely rely onto question banks. Do your studies. You can refer question banks once your concepts are clear, once you have gone through whole of the subjective things, once you have referred to books, and then you can sit and solve question banks. With that, let's go to point number two, which is exactly where I'm going to talk about books and referring to books. So point number two is exactly as I said with respect to what books you refer. Now I have already made a video on this as well. You can go and check the link up right here, which are the best books to refer for CPL. But A lot of students make a mistake of relying on multiple books in order to complete their studies. Now, let me tell you, DGCA has already given you a syllabus which is available readily, and you can go and check it out on the website. I'll put the link down in the description, and the questions will only come from that syllabus. Not only that, but they have also helped you with what books to refer. Now, I'll take one thing. A lot of you might say, "Sir, बहुत सारी books है." DGCA has said refer multiple books. But guys, let me ask you one simple question. Now, you can ask that to yourself. The content in all these books, is it different? I'm talking index wise, okay? See the chapters. I'm not saying word to word. Obviously, the words and paragraphs and the way the literature is will be different. But what about the content? The amount of subjects, sorry, my bad, the amount of chapters that are there in radio navigation are gonna be same even if you take Oxford Aviation book, if you take a Jepson book, if you take GSP, if you take RK Bali's navigation book, you take any book. The chapters, the content, the way a specific instrument works is going to be same. And it's coming from a ground instructor. I have referred to multiple books, but I never tell my students to study from each and every book. Even when we teach at Maverick Aviation, coming to that, if you guys want to have quality ground training and want to clear your exams in one go, we have new batches which will come soon in a week or two at Maverick. Even when I teach at Maverick or even when I teach at a flying school, I always refer to one specific book, and I even tell my students to refer to that book only. It can be different books for solving examples or solving questions and referring to. But when it comes to theory, I never tell students, or I would never even tell any one of you watching this video to refer to multiple books. It will just create a lot of confusion, whereas the content will be the same. So don't do that mistake. Ask someone, ask for proper guidance. You can check up my link. I have already given you multiple options. You can select and go for the best book. Don't do that mistake of taking tens of books and studying the same thing and confusing yourself. Point number 3 deals with something which is a personal thing. Personal as in between you and some third person. What I'm trying to say is that never try to follow someone else's path, especially when he's just a friend or who's just someone who's cleared their DGCA papers and is trying to boast about it. It's trying to say, yaar, maine kar liya and I'm amazing. This is what I did. Okay, I'm not saying that someone who has cleared his DGCA papers might have done it in a wrong way, but it's not necessary that whatever way he went through or whatever study he did is going to be useful, exactly going to be useful for you. As I told in the starting of this video, everyone has a different mindset. Everyone has a different caliber to understanding things, the time they take to understand things. So maybe someone who has understood, something in one lecture, some other person might have to refer the same thing after he has finished the lecture for a couple amount of hours. And that applies even when you study stuff. Just because someone else cleared a paper just going through that specific book, that does not mean that you will understand everything in that book. Maybe you might not understand the vocabulary of that book. Someone might be better at understanding it. You might need a simpler book or a book which has the language which is pretty simplified compared to other books. So I would give you one simple advice. Never ever follow blindly what someone else is doing or how someone else has cleared their exams. Find a proper way, take the proper guidance, refer to the proper books, stick to what you want and stick to what you know about yourself and how you're gonna do it. Make a proper schedule with respect to how much you can study in a day. If you ask me personally, I can never study more than 2 or 3 hours tops. I never studied more than that, to be honest. But I did whatever I had to in those 3 hours and I did it passionately, I did it properly, and I could understand what I was doing. I was not just sitting 3 hours on a desk in front of a book, surfing through my phone. Maybe I did sometimes, but again, it worked correctly for me. So you have to find what suits you, and that's what will click. Number 4 is something that's gonna be very bad for you in the long run, if not right now after clearing your exam, and that is neglecting the difficult part or the difficult subjects that you have in your syllabus. Let me clear one thing for sure. If you're clearing your CPL exams, I say it over and over again, that's not the end of it. As a pilot, even let's say an airline pilot, you get a job as well. You're really smart, you get a job. But even after that, your studies are not over. Pilots have to go through ground classes every year. They have to go through proficiency checks every 6 months, every year, and whatnot. because DGCA wants you not only to be capable of flying but also be fresh with your knowledge, and that is more of theoretical knowledge. So if you think that I just have to clear from the point of view of one exam, that's not it. Always study for the future. Always study that this might be useful for me sometime in the cockpit, sometime while I'm flying a plane, or sometime when I'm in an emergency. That's when all of this will come back to you. And that is why I say always study everything. Okay, especially when it comes to DGCA, the problem here is that you have a 100-mark exam and you have to get 70 marks. And this is something which is really different from your school or college life. There you had to get just 45% out of 100. So you could omit some stuff. And I'm sure that most of you, including me, have done that. Maybe one or two chapters which you thought do not have a lot of weightage, you have just boom, thrown them away. But you can't do that here. Trust me, you can't do that, because every single mark, every single question, might be difficult or easy, carries equal marks, and you're gonna have the same amount of time to solve it as well. Maybe if you solve a easier question in, maybe let's say, less amount of time, you can dedicate that time to a difficult question. But to dedicate that time, you need to know how to do it. Otherwise फिर तुक्का मार के आना पड़ेगा. And a lot of students, if you go through the result sheet, you'll see a lot of students fail in that 65 to 70 margin. Now if you get 70, you're lucky you pass, but if you get 69, you fail the DGC exam. So that 1 mark plays a very, very important role. So always study everything. If there is something that you do not understand, ask a senior or go for ground classes. That's what I always suggest. So this point that we're going to talk about is the problem of a lot of students that I have trained, or a lot of students that I know, is that you never take mock tests. And even if you do take mock tests, most of the students never time them. It is very, very important to be time efficient in such competitive exams. Now to talk about navigation exam, you have 3 hours to solve 100 questions. So if you do the math, you have somewhere around 1 minute 1 minute 48 seconds in order to solve one question. Now to be honest, a lot of you will say that's way too less. Now some of the theory questions are pretty straightforward, so if you know your theory, which I told you previously, you'll be able to solve them pretty quick, and you can save that time which you, like, if you took, like, say, let's say 20 seconds, you have saved an ample amount of time in that question. You can utilize it for maybe a tougher numerical or a sum that comes in. So you need to know how to utilize your time, and you can do that only if you know whether you'll be able to solve these 100 questions in enough time. And for that, you need to practice. So whenever you take mock tests, or whenever you're solving question banks for that matter after doing the theory, always time yourself. Sit and study, or sit and appear for an exam like you're actually appearing the DGCA exam. Never just take for granted कि मेरा हो जाएगा, 3 घंटे तो बहुत होते हैं. When you actually go for the exam, that's when you actually understand that it's not really that easy. So always and always set a timer, sit for those 3 hours, dedicate yourself towards those questions, and see how much time you're taking. If you're taking around 2 hours, 2.5 hours, pretty good. You'll get enough time to go and re-verify your answers, or to check, or to solve some question maybe which you had left before. Since it's an online exam, you have that option over there. So do not ever try to do mock test without timing yourself. Okay, so number 5 is a little related between theory and flying. So I want to show how both of these things are related to each other, or how they are interconnected. Now, if you do your studies properly, especially with respect to navigation, let me talk to you, since I hold expertise in that. Radio navigation and instrumentation play a vital role when you go for your flying training. Okay, you use all of those radio navigation equipments which you have studied of. Almost all of them are available in the Cessna, the standard ones. Okay, and you're going to use them when you fly. Now, what you do in your flying training, usually when we do your flight training, you do a lot of visual flying, that is VFR. But you have a certain amount of hours, let me tell you, 40 hours, which are going to do your IF, that is your instrument flying. Now instrument flying holds the most, I would say it is super important, because ahead as an airline captain or an airline pilot, you're going to do IFR, 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 IFR. And you don't fly aircraft at 36,000 feet in VFR conditions. You always fly IFR. And if you do not know the basics, you're going to face a lot of problems in your type rating. And I'm saying again, by experience, I have seen students, who have been really miserable during their type rating, and it gets difficult because when you go for your type rating, especially when you're sent through an airline, they expect you to know stuff, because when you go from an airline, you're a instrument rated pilot. You hold a IR certification on your CPL, and all of these basics are expected out of you. No one's going to teach you there how to use a certain instrument, how to use a certain basic instrument which is in a Cessna. When you do type rating, you have a very limited amount of time to learn a lot. Imagine that in your whole CPL, when you're doing your CPL training, you're dedicating 200 hours to just learn how to fly a Cessna and about it. Imagine just doing not even a quarter of that, I would say, to learn how to fly a A320 or a Boeing, whatever aircraft you're doing your type rating on. So the amount of time that you have to learn is very less. So the instructor or any institute does not have enough time to teach you from the basics. They're not going to teach you what to do in a Cessna, then try to reciprocate that into a A320 and stuff. If you know, you know. If you don't, you fail. And trust me, type rating is super expensive if you fail certain even one session in there. So that is the one more reason to tell you that always learn and always implement it during your flying. So always keep your theory and your flying connected. Okay, the gesture was bad, but never mind. Keep them connected. Try to connect all of the dots, and trust me, you will enjoy your flying. You will enjoy when you do your instrument flying and stuff. Also, instrument flying की बात आई है, तो I was thinking that why not I make videos on sim sessions. Since I am a certified simulator instructor, I was thinking that I usually do it whenever we have our sessions at Maverick Aviation. Sometimes we just have weekend sessions where I just show my students some flying lessons, or we do some IFR ILS approaches and stuff. So if you guys want me to do that on this channel, just comment down below. The more the comment, the more faster the video will come. So I will do landings using the simulator, the latest Microsoft simulator, and we can shoot some approaches in Mumbai or any place that you love from where you are. You can just put it down in the comment, and I'll try to make a video as soon as possible on that. With that said, guys, I think this time to end the video. I hope you found it useful, and if you did, do not forget to hit the subscribe button, and do also like the video. It does help a lot. We are growing as a family slowly, and it's amazing to talk to you guys. Also, you can DM me. You can go and follow my Instagram handle, which is right here. I reply to most of the DMs. A request to you guys that if you have some questions regarding aviation, type whole of the question and send me a message. Just do not send hi, because then I don't know that whether you're actually asking me a question with respect to aviation, or you just want to chat with me, which is really difficult with the schedule that I'm following nowadays. So with that said, thanks for watching. If you like the content, you know what to do. With that said, take care, stay safe, and like I always say, guys, stay golden. Bye bye.